Hi guys, hope you're all doing good, and today I'm going to be doing yet another CD update. This time I'm going to be showing a few things that I picked up over the summer, mostly courtesy of a belated Amazon gift voucher thing that my good friend Mickey Maffei um, gifted to me, which I'm really grateful for and really appreciate your friendship, man. Um, and yeah, he basically just told me to get some stuff with it, and I brought a few things with it and a couple extra, um, because why not? Um, and yeah, I've been listening to them over the last couple of weeks, and now I'm ready to show them in this CD update. Most of this stuff is going to be stuff that a lot of people will know, or people will know of the musicians or the bands. And we've got quite a wide range of things, going from rock, heavy metal, and even a bit of black metal and some thrash metal as well. So yeah, I hope you go on to enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it. So to begin, I'm gonna show some like modern hard rock. This is Chickenfoot, and this is Chickenfoot 3, their second album, not confusing at all. Second and final album that they did together as a supergroup. And I'd actually never listened to this album. I listened to the first one a lot and I really enjoyed it, but I never checked this one out. Obviously, supergroup featuring Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony from Van Halen, Joe Satriani, and Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers. And yeah, it's a good album. I did enjoy it, but I don't think I liked it as much as the first one. I think the first one is better than this, and that's an album that I really must get on physical because it's excellent. But still, I still did enjoy a few songs from here. I liked the first one, Lost Temptation. Up Next was pretty good. Lighten Up was probably my favourite song on the album. I liked Come Closer, that was quite cool. Bigfoot I enjoyed as well. So yeah, it's definitely some good stuff. Some good rocking songs on here. A lot of the artwork sort of got some 3D vibe going on, and I never got any 3D glasses, so I might have to borrow Johnny Mac's. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on this album. It's a good album. I don't think it's as good as the debut, but I still think it's pretty decent. I wish Joe Satriani would shred a bit more on it, to be honest. Next up is an album that I simply had to get when after the news when he passed away, and this was an album that I didn't have, and it's honestly one of my favourites, and it's Scream by the late Ozzy Osbourne, and this came out in 2010. His 11th album, if you include the covers album, which I don't, so 10th for me personally. And yeah, this is my favourite of his modern stuff. A lot of his modern albums, like Black Rain, Ordinary Man, you know, they're okay but not great. But this one I do really enjoy. I don't know whether it's the fact that they brought in Gus G on the guitar and he did a really great job, but I don't know. There's something about this one that I've always really liked. I think the songs are great on here. The only songs that I'm not a massive fan of is the first one, Let It Die, and Time. I think those two are by far the weakest, but the rest of it I think is great. I really, really like Soul Sucker, Digging Me Down, Crucify, great song. Fearless, I Want It More, Latimer's Mercy, really, really good stuff. And I don't really understand why people don't enjoy this album, to be honest, or they think it's, you know, a bit on the weak side. I honestly think that this album's way better than people give it credit for. Yeah, the last song on the album sort of has a bit more of a deeper meaning now that Ozzy's not here anymore. So yeah, had to pick it up after the Prince of Darkness passed away. R.I.P. Ozzy. Next up, completely shifting gears, I'm going to show a couple of black metal albums that really helped me get into the genre when I did my big deep dive a few years back. Both of these albums are by the Swedish band Marduk, and the first one I picked up is Those the Unlight from 1993, their second album and their first album as a black metal band, because their debut, of course, was more of a death metal album, and to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but this one, when I listened to it, was the first black metal album that I heard where I truly started to get the whole like vibe of why people really enjoy black metal. And unfortunately the case is a little bit broken. I'll take this out of the thing so it's easier. Might be easier to see it. It's very dark, but I like the album cover because it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Lord of the Rings, the Nazgul. It sort of has that kind of vibe to me. And yeah, I really do enjoy this album from start to finish. I think it's great. It's got like a more of a, it wouldn't have a it's not really got a death metal sound, but it's sort of got a death metal-y atmosphere to it in places. Some excellent guitar riffs, and yeah, one of my favourites by Marduk, definitely. I really enjoy Darkness Breeds Immortality, Those the Unlight, Wolves, great, On Darkened Wings, Burn My Coffin. Echoes from the Past is quite an interesting song because it's a bit more atmospheric, which I'm not the biggest fan of atmospheric black metal, but there's something about that song that I actually quite dig that. And then it ends with The Stone Stands Silent Vigil. Yeah, excellent album from Marduk. One of my favourites by them. And I had to go and pick up my number one album by Marduk, and that is Nightwing from 1998, their fifth album. And yeah, this album has just got some absolutely piercing, blasting riffs and insane blasting drumming to go with it. It's fast and frantic and frenetic, and the vocals from Legion are absolutely incredible on here. They're so raspy and evil sounding. It's it's great stuff. And I love Blood Tide of Hell's Fire, Slade and Nazarene. Them three songs are excellent. Dreams of Blood and Iron's great. Dracul Wider. Yeah, some really great stuff on here, and I need to check out some more Marduk. I have listened to a few of their earlier stuff, but I've still got a few of the later ones to still check out. Next up, we're gonna move gears again, and this time into a more thrashy kind of vibe with these next two bands. I wanted to pick up some more Overkill because they're a band that I've really gotten into over the last couple of years, and I really want to eventually get the first 7 albums in my collection, and these next two have filled a couple of gaps there. So the first one is I Hear Black from 1993, their 6th album, and this is part of the Atlantic Years reissue. But obviously it's just the single CD version of it. And yeah, I really like this album. It's obviously it hasn't got as much thrash metal in it. It's more, I'd say it's more of like a groove metal, sort of Pantera meets Black Sabbath meets a tiny bit of Alice in Chains in there. But I still think this album's a great album. It's got some brilliant songs on it. I really love the guitar tone that they had on this album. It kind of reminds me a little bit of And Justice for All a little bit. I don't know why, but it kind of has a similar sort of real bassy kind of meaty guitar tone. And yeah, I really enjoyed this album a lot. I really like the first song, Dreaming in Colombian, World of Hurt, Feed My Head, great songs. Shades of Grey, that's definitely got a bit of an Alice in Chains sort of grungy vibe to it, but I quite liked it. Spiritual Void has got a real sort of heavy, Sabbathy, Pantera kind of groove to it, I really liked. Undying, really good song, and ends with Just Like You, a really good song again. Yeah, I'm not really sure how this one sort of stacks up for a lot of Overkill fans, but I think it's really good. I think I would definitely have this in my top 5 Overkill albums. Next up, I've got the follow-up to that, WFO from 1994, and the last with this lineup, the lineup that they had, Grant and Rob, Merritt, that's it, Merritt and Rob on the guitars. This one definitely had a bit more of a thrash metal vibe going on. Still had that heavy groove sound, but it definitely brought back a bit more of that thrash. And the bass is very prominent on this album. It's very bassy. I liked it the second time. To be honest, the first time I heard it, I wasn't really sure whether it didn't really grab me. But the second time I heard it, it sort of, something went off in my head, and I'm like, actually, yeah, I think I do like this now. It just, just took a bit of time. Some albums, sometimes they do take time. But, yeah, it's got some great riffs, some cool tracks. I like the first song, Where It Hurts. That was good. They're Young. That was quite cool. The Weight, New High and Lows. That has a snippet of a film at the start, and I swear there's a little bit of that's sampled in the Slipknot song Sick, and I heard it straight away. And I thought, hang on a minute, Slipknot took that bit as well, so that's pretty cool. What else did I like? I liked the instrumental song R.I.P. Undone. I thought that was quite cool, bit different. Bastard Nation I liked. Gasoline Dream I did like. However, on this version that I've got, there's like 20 minutes of absolutely sod all that happens at the end, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because there's literally like, I think there's about 18 minutes of silence, and then there's like a couple of little outtakes of them playing some covers for a couple of minutes, and I just felt that was a bit weird, and to be honest, but apart from that, I really like this album. Definitely, if no one's heard this one, or they haven't heard it in a while, definitely go check it out again, because I thought it was pretty good. And last up today, I'm going to show 2 absolute thrash classics that I needed to complete my album discography of this band. And well, for now, until they potentially might release a new album next year, and that is Exodus, and the first one is Bonded by Blood. Now, this album needs no introduction. It's an absolute classic of thrash metal. It's raw and it's gritty, and for me, I think this is my favourite Exodus album. I just love how classic it sounds, like classic raw, gritty, bit like Kill 'Em All, but a bit more rawer, a bit more heavier than that. Paul Bailoff's vocals are just absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's filled with so many memorable songs that they still play today, like Bonded by Blood, Exodus, Then There Were None, Lesson in Violence, Metal Command, Piranha. You know, brilliant. I really like No Love as well. Strike of the Beast. This is the Century Media reissue, so there's a couple of extra live tracks at the end as well. Yeah, there's not really much else to say on it apart from it's an absolute thrash to piece, classic, a must-have for everybody who's into thrash metal. It's absolutely fantastic. And the last one that I didn't have on physical, I mean, my dad's got the OGs, the OG vinyls, but I didn't have them on CD. The last one is Pledge of the Flesh, and yeah, obviously their second album, their first one with Zetro, and I think Zetro actually fits in quite nicely on this album, because when I was listening to them back to back, I actually thought that there were small similarities between their vocal styles. Obviously, then Zetro goes and does his own thing and turns into the Goblin that we know now. But back then, they sort of had small little similarities in their vocal styles, which I thought was quite interesting. And of course, this version, the Century Media version, comes with what the original artwork was supposed to be before they changed it to what everyone knows now, which is that. But I thought that looks better, so I've done that. And yeah, I like this album. I never really give this one much of a go. I think this one gets a bit forgotten about, to be honest. It's a bit underrated. However, I will say on that, I don't think this album's as memorable as the debut and obviously Fabulous Disaster, because they've got more memorable songs on them. But I still think this has got some good songs. Like the first song, Deranged, is great. Parasite, I liked. The title track, President of the Flesh, is really good. Kemi Kill, I like that sort of guitar, clean-ish guitar tone that he uses at the start of that song. It's quite cool. Yeah, Choose Your Weapons, great. I like the instrumental, 30 seconds, it's quite cool. It's almost like a bit like Bark-esque. And again, this has got some live tracks on it as well. Yeah, it's got some great riffs, great solos. I don't think it's as good as the debut, but still a good one. So that was the latest CD update. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts on any of the albums that I've shown. Obviously there's a lot of classics in there, so I'm sure a lot of people will have some opinions on them. And I've got some things coming up. I'm going to a few gigs, so I might do videos about those. Luckily, yeah, no more CD updates for a little while now, so I'm going to look to try and do some different stuff. And yeah, thanks Mickey for sending me that gift so then I could buy a couple of those. I really appreciate that, and your friendship, man. And yeah, if you got this far, thanks ever so much for watching. Until next time, keep it metal.